10 years ago, if you told me I was going to be a photographer and a writer, I'd tell you you were crazy. The camera became my transporter to places that I would have never visited before. Photography took me out into the world, and I was isolated. The backstory for me is really simple. As a teenager, my entire psyche and future was around playing baseball. And I ended up getting hurt, and it all went away in a heartbeat. And there wasn't anything else, nothing. High school turned into college, and there was nothingness. And so the only thing that I could turn to was to be like my father, which was to be very good in business. But it came with a price, because on my daily walk into work, I'd usually have a water bottle filled with vodka to try to get through, because it was a very meaningless life. It wasn't something that I wanted, and I never figured out what I could replace the loss of baseball with. Alcohol started to affect my family, and I ended up getting arrested for drunk driving on 3 separate occasions over a 3-month period, which is really hard to do. I was given the option of going to jail for 6 months or to attend a rehab facility. And actually at that point I attempted to end it, and I got admitted to a psychiatric hospital. There was a physician who had been in the same place I had been that looked at me one day and stared me in the eye and said, "I really think you can make this. Trust me, let go." No matter how someone is in terms of their depression or alcoholism, that sometimes one kind word can make all the difference. As I exited rehab, I had to try to readjust to life in the absence of alcohol. As I listened one night to a woman speaking about finding your passion in life, brought up the example of a bipolar alcoholic businessman that had found peace and meaning in the editing and taking of photographs. And for some reason I tuned in for a split second and heard that line. And I do believe to this day that if I hadn't heard that line, I would not be a photographer today. With this newfound photography, I finally found that passion that I lost when I no longer could be a professional baseball player. Michael Blanchard photography was born. So I posted a picture on Facebook, and I didn't get any answers immediately, so I went to my daughter and showed it to her, and she was kind enough to hit the like button. I had no idea that the posting and writing would become so popular. After a few years of writing on Facebook, I said, I want to write a book. The book was images and learnings and hope. I realized that photography was a way to connect to people, to help people. The other day I had a woman who, after 6 months of chemotherapy, she sent me a picture of her with my book in her hands called Fighting for My Life. She had no hair. It was her last treatment. And she said, "Michael, thank you. Fighting for my life means more than alcoholism or addiction. It means you got me through the chemotherapy. You gave me the hope that I could get through this chemotherapy." The cool part is that last week she came to the gallery, full head of hair, in remission for 2 years, and she gave me a big hug. And that's what it's all about. That book was written 5 years ago, and it's time to write the second book. I want it to cover various aspects of life, issues that people face on a daily basis. I want people to be able to be uplifted by the words and the images that they see. I'm a whole different person, so it's going to be a whole different book. I'm a photographer because it's been my way of interacting with the world and helping other people. The camera yells out and grabs me and brings me to a beach, and I see things and have an impact on others' lives. Their lives have an impact on mine. It truly has made all the difference for me.